pressure for us to hold these ideals of toxic masculinity, you know, and this idea, once we show emotion, it's over. You know, they have so much power over us, you know. And I think, in fact, I really think it's at best for us to be our best selves, no matter what. Like the emotions we feel led and just naturally showing. You know, I think it's important that we show those on the forefront, up front, instead of hiding who we really are. You know, and instead of lowering ourselves to allow others to better feel comfortable, you know.
Right.
And that's just what I have off top. How about you? What you think?
Yeah, like you said, just for sure you touched on it. That's a big key point. Like toxic masculinity, just enforcing these ideals that really cannot be obtained. Always showing how tough you are, or um, just whatever that circle. Everybody, unfortunately, a lot of men that come up, most men that come up, we're groomed in that area of these toxic traits. Um, you know, treating women as objects, or
Yeah.
just anything in that realm that is super detrimental to us as ourselves and anybody and anything that we touch. Um, so that, I think that's what makes it hard, and you have to recondition yourself. You have to relearn like how to navigate, and it's hard. Like it's scary. It's
Man.
sometimes you're hypercritical of yourself.
Mm.
These situations, I do this all the time. Like I'm like, oh, did I give too much of myself? Did I say too much? And in reality, I probably didn't say enough. But it's putting on that front. And once you peel back those layers, that's when you get, like I said, your real, your true, and your best moments in life and your best relationships come from that. So
Mm. I really like how reflective you are in all of this, bro, for sure. Because it all, like you said, it's a mirror. It all comes back on us in the end of the day.
for sure, for sure. I was so this is our second episode. On my first episode, I talked about it briefly, but since you brought it up, I'll kind of elaborate on it more. The way I live, so I think since I started college, um, I realized that there was a lot of things in my life that I didn't understand, right? I didn't understand, like, and these are like social construct stuff. So stuff that you don't learn in school. Um, so just kind of navigating that stuff. So like for example, like understanding and knowing what love is, understanding and knowing what 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 your manhood is, and defining that for yourself, or um, like also vulnerability, defining and doing a lot of things like that. So I'll like you say, I kind of overcompensate. I'll get to reading a whole bunch of books, podcasts, music, and tailor it towards that until I feel like I have an understanding for what that is. Uh, so I guess let me backtrack a little bit. Since we're a podcast and we're anchored in Black manhood, I want to know, for someone like you, a creative, someone that's um, really driven, like how do you define manhood for yourself? Like when you look at yourself in the mirror and you measure yourself up to that, whatever ideal that you have for yourself, how do you define manhood?
Mm. One of my greatest ways that I think just singular words like honesty, you know, integrity, character, and seeking wisdom.
Mm.
Yeah, I in my life, there's a lot of times I wasn't honest, and I felt like that was due to um, me seeing what everyone else was doing and wanting to mirror that to better make other people comfortable, and always seeking an opportunity to just to create something that served others, but I wasn't going anywhere, and
Mm.
even um like personally, like my dad's name, like you think about my name, you say that whole has commas, man, my
Yeah.
dad's name had, I don't even know how to put it, semicolons, if you will, you know, and even um not measuring my manhood up to him and what he was doing, but knowing like, the next generation, every generation that's after us is called to do more, and it's not more in the sense of um just attributes and accolades, but just even in character, how do you like really, like as Maya Angelou said, like how you making people feel,
Mm.
how feeling
Sure.
after they rocking with you, like are they uplifted, are they encouraged, are they feeling less than, or are they feeling more powerful, and being able to pull people up and just show them different ways to navigate and move, being able to have that provision, right? To say, you know what, not that, not simply like what I say goes, but no, we here for better, and we here to call each other we calling each other higher.
For sure. For sure. You bring up your father. Tell me about that. Like how has your dad shaped what you think about yourself as far as like defining your manhood, and what did he ever sit you down and say, hey, this is what a man is, or did it come through like little tidbits, or just tell me about your childhood in that way?
Yeah, man. I'll start it like this, as honest as I can. Like my dad, he was a big like high school and college basketball star. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So that obviously, like, oftentimes people would try and like just say, "Oh, you doing this too, or you doing this too," because of your pop. Um,
Yeah.
but first and foremost, I'm not an athlete. We'll get that going. It skipped a generation. I think just because it has something to do with me, it might even skip my kids and go on after that. No, no, no. But in all seriousness, I think around maybe like 12 or 13, he just really just sat me down and just would ask me questions like, my parents never married. And so, but, I'm from Chicago, and like every maybe 3-4 months, I would just spend back and forth time between, because my mom ended up moving to Minnesota, between Chicago and Minnesota. And I would just always like really treasure those times every time I would go with my dad, because it was the only access to manhood I had. You know what I mean? And so when I went there, I always took out my pen and pad, like my mental notes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just always a gem, whether or not it was things pertaining to how do I correlate within women. You know what I'm saying? How do I move? How do I walk? What's my swag like? You know what I mean? I got better swag. If he
As
hears
do
this,
I. As do I. I feel you. I feel you.
we're doing it. We're doing it.
For sure.
uh, but nevertheless, even within faith, like what do I believe? Even just the opportunity to, he even shared his faith with me growing up. And what that did for me was, and it wasn't like a beating my head over the book with whatever the faith base is, you know what I'm saying? It was like, okay,
Yeah.
look, this is what I choose, you know what I mean? And this is how it has impacted me. And that gave me the freedom to choose. It was never just like, okay, here it is, but I'm grateful to say that, we do identify in the same faith of Christian, and like it's just another thing to connect. But I appreciated the opportunity to know, like, and whatever it is, whatever like we believe, we got to challenge those beliefs. Even the toxic masculinity, like we got to ask ourselves, like, where did we learn this? It's a lot of unlearning.